Storytelling. Telling stories is how we learn. It's how we pay attention. Actually, fun facts. So Dan Martell, he was getting everybody to be quiet and sit down. He's who can hear me clap once, and then everybody claps. And then he says, all right, let me tell you a story. And just that act of saying, let me tell you a story, when people are paying attention for a second, the room goes quiet. That's the power of story. Like, we love story. And so you telling stories in your marketing, that is what people pay attention to. What you need to do is you need to map out, for what you're selling, for what your audience is and what you're selling, what are all of the beliefs that they need to have from beginning to end in order to buy from you and be perfectly, quote unquote, indoctrinated into your way of thinking that's going to ensure that they have success with what you're offering, right? We're all in the business of helping people get from A to Z, get from where they are to where they want to be. That's our job in this type of industry, like in any industry, really, right? Whether it's coffee or software or coaching or information, we want to get people from point A to point B or Z. And in order to have success with whatever we're doing, there are certain beliefs that they need to have. So you want to write those down. Like, for example, I need to believe that I can do it. I need to believe that this mechanism, this strategy, this vehicle that I'm offering is the best vehicle to get it done. I need to believe that my past failures are not because of me, but because I was using the wrong technique to get there. I need to believe that I can trust you. If there's something special about your vehicle, might need to believe that eating fruit and vegetable is healthy and that eating fats is bad, or that if you're selling a carnivore diet, I need to believe that eating only meat is fantastic and that vegetables are the devil or something. So you map out what those beliefs are that they need to have. And then for each belief, you come up with a story, right? You think of a story from your own life or from someone else's life. It can be a case study, it can be a famous person, whatever. But you come up with a story for each belief, where the new belief that you need people to have is the moral of that story. And then you write out all of those stories. And now what you do is you don't necessarily tell one story in one email or in one video or one thing. You want these stories to hit people from multiple modalities, whether that's on social media, on YouTube or whatever, or an email or whatever. So you want to hit them from multiple angles. And what you also want to do is you ideally want to open a loop and then close it later. So you start a story and then you say, hey, but we'll get back to that later. But let me tell you about this other thing. So we open a loop, and then here we open a new loop, and then we close the first loop, and then the next one. So you kind of, those stories interweave, because that's how the human brain works. Is like, when you hear the beginning of a story, you need to hear the end. You need to hear what happens next. Right? That's what TV shows do so perfectly, right? They leave you hanging. Oh, the cliffhanger before the advertisement break, right? Before the commercials. Like, we need to hear what happens next. And so if you constantly are opening loops and then closing them again, if you forget to close them, people are going to lose trust in you. So you have to remember to close them again, and then open new ones and close, et cetera, so that you kind of string people along on this chain. And then they're going to end up with the beliefs that you need them to have to become good customers. If you do sales calls, which is one of the things that we talk about in Simpler Academy, then you want to make sure that they have those beliefs installed through these stories before you get on the sales call, so that it's a much easier lift for you to actually close them on the call. And so the way that Lanny does this is he actually has a spreadsheet with, where he keeps track of all the loops that he opens and closes of story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, et cetera, et cetera.